once a military town, so the closure of the barracks in 2007 was a contributing factor in the town's economic decline. Now, however, there is investment planned for the town centre. And with a fast train link connecting it to the capital, Dover could be marching to a brighter tune in the near future.
The property I'm here to see is part of this grand terrace, built around 1850 to house officers stationed in the town. Now, the whole terrace is Grade 2 listed due to its dominating position overlooking Dover. But the bit I'm interested in is the ground floor one-bedroom flat, which had a guide price of £60,000.
The property does have an imposing facade and location, but this is not one that would pass out on parade without closer inspection. There are some telltale signs that the building is in need of significant work, but the communal hall hints at this place's former glory.
Ooh, very dated, but all is forgiven. Wow! Look at this room. This is everything I love, 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 love. Wasn't expecting this. Absolutely stunning and huge. The proportions are enormous, amazing. It feels so right. I mean, look at this. Stunning piece of marble here. Absolutely gorge. I'm not sure about this wallpaper either. I'm going to have to get rid of a few bits of wallpaper around here. But look at the cornicing. Beautiful, the ceiling rose. I actually think it's lots of bits of fruit sort of cobbled together there. You've got some pineapples, some pears, some apples. Really beautiful. Over here, you've got these shutters. The thing that strikes me is all in such good condition. Look, deep skirting boards, just how I love them. Really is fantastic. I am very excited.
What a find! A truly magnificent room. This is just the kind of historic property that I love to see being returned to its former glory. Part of the living room has been separated off to create a bedroom. It's not huge, but it also has these lovely original shutters. The kitchen's at the front of this flat. It's also got gloriously high ceilings. It'll need completely stripping out, but this is a big room which I'd love to redesign. I reckon you could fit a table and chairs in no problem. The bathroom? Well, same story there. Last but not least, there's this strange little lean-to at the back, leading out onto, well, you just wait.
Oh, wow. Just look at that sweeping terrace. It really is quite breathtaking here. Now, interestingly, they've covered this little area in, this veranda. I would like to get rid of all that and sort of emulate the neighbours. It'll be so lovely to sit outside with a glass of wine on a summer's evening. Now, that's all fabulous. You also get outside space. You get a share of the garden. I'm not sure which part, but it's just wonderful to be here in Dover, have a garden, have a wonderful flat. This little place is turning into something rather special.
To sit in this garden with that sweep of Victorian terrace for a view would be a delight. And I'm told that in the winter, when the trees lose their leaves, you've got a decent view of Dover as well. This flat would make a very comfortable and enjoyable place to live once you've made it your own. But before that, there's something to bear in mind.
The state of the flat itself isn't great, but once you buy it, well, you can sort that out. It's controllable and dealable with. Now, the condition of the building and the communal areas are a more complicated matter. If I was taking this place on, I'd be thoroughly researching why the fabric of the building is not being maintained, why nobody is taking responsibility for it, whether there's an annual service charge set up for maintenance and a sinking fund ready and waiting to pay for major works. It's all about protecting your own investment and making sure any works aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg at the same time.
Allowing a Grade 2 listed building to fall into disrepair could prove an expensive business, especially if there's no sinking fund in place to cover repairs. So although that £60,000 guide price could seem a bargain, there might be a catch. Well, you know the drill. Always check the legal pack.
This is a little piece of Dover history which has character and masses of charm. It's not without its issues, but for someone, it'll be well worth the hassle. Let's see who that was at the auction.
Lot 16 is the ground floor flat in Dover, and what may I say? £55,000 anywhere? 55, thank you very much. £55,000 I have. At £55,000 I bid, 56 I have, and 58. At 8 I have, at 58, and 60, and 60, and 62. No, at £60,000 I have. Anybody else can join in here? Well, at £60,000 then, hammers up at 60,000 then for the first time, 60,000 for the second time, 60,000 for the third and final time. At £60,000, are you all done? Sold at 60,000, and your bid is number, sir.
That very happy bidder who paid the exact guide price of £60,000 is Hugh. He and his wife Judith live in Market Harborough in Leicestershire. He works in a warehouse and Judith's an optician. I met up with them both at the property to find out why they'd eyed up this fabulous flat.
Judith and Hugh, I don't always get quite this excited about flats, but I love this place.
Lovely.
Why did you want to buy it? For the same reasons?
We own the top two flats already.
In this building?
In this building, yes. And this one came up for sale. So for numerous reasons, we thought we'd have a look round and went for it.
Why do you want to own another one in the building? I mean, what is it about this building that you love so much?
I think this terrace is one of the, finer points of Dover, really. And if you drive into Dover from quite a few of the different directions, you'll see the castle and then you'll see this terrace. It's just such a magnificent building that I just wanted to have part of it. I think it's lovely. And having the top two flats, which are wonderful because they've got views over to the sea. But this one, of course, has access to the garden.
What you don't expect is when you walk out the back and you see that beautiful sweep going along on the terrace. It just looks stunning.
I mean, years ago, you could actually see the structure of the terrace much better than you can now from the town because the trees have obviously grown.
It sounds like you know Dover quite well, Judith.
Yeah, I grew up here, and although I've been a long time away from Dover, I came back a few years ago and sort of fell back in love with the place.
Well, what better place to purchase property than one that makes you happy every time you're there? Now that Judith and Hugh own flats at both the top and bottom of this former house in the terrace, I wonder what their plans are to lift the spirits of this ground floor flat.
How are you going to turn this place around?
Well, we thought about moving the kitchen into the room that's now the bedroom and swapping them over, but actually I think that's probably going to be too expensive. Obviously we need new kitchen, new bathroom, the electrics have got to be upgraded, and the central heating has been put in a rather poor fashion, so we need to sort that out. But beyond that, I don't think we're going to do anything more than bring it up to date, really, are we?
That's a really big list of jobs to do, and I'm not sure the couple's budget of 10 grand will be enough. However, the good news is that there is a sinking fund in place for the 5 flats in the block. The couple had inside knowledge of that, as they already owned the 2 top-floor flats.
Tell me, what are your immediate plans for the flat?
Well, once the works are done, we're hoping to keep it for ourselves for a while, aren't we? It's a holiday home.
Really? I was wondering if you were going to do that.
When we built the others, we were originally thinking about having the top floor flat as a holiday home, weren't we? But we decided that actually we ought to rent it out and get some money back on our investment. But now, this time, we think we're going to get some pleasure out of this.
Do you know what, Judith? When you told me about that, your whole face lit up because you really do love it here, don't you?
Yes.
Both of you.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah.
I am so excited to see what this looks like. Congratulations, guys. It's great news. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Dover in Kent. It's now 9.5 months later, and the outside of this Grade 2 listed building is being restored to its former glory. Good news, because the inside of Hugh and Judith's flat has already been refurbished. The grand sitting room has been fully restored. And there's been a similar transformation in the kitchen.
Well, really, pretty much everything has changed in here. I don't know if you remember, but this corner was very ugly. A lot of pipe work. So we got our carpenter to make a cupboard, and that's hidden everything really away very nicely. And there was also units pretty much all the way around. So we decided just to put units along the one wall, and we've managed to keep this space in the corner as an eating area. And of course, our major discovery was the fireplace here, which we thought was wood. But we realised it was marble, and we were able to uncover that. It took a lot of work. We've just ordered a shelf to go on top of the lintel to make it look more authentic again. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that when it's finished.
I really love the high ceilings in this flat. What a throwback to a more elegant era. I'm very impressed by the effect the couple have created in the bathroom. The black and white look mimics the old Victorian tiles, which would have been used originally. Like the sitting room, the bedroom at the back of the flat now looks straight out onto the garden with no obstructions.
A huge amount has been done to the outside over the last couple of months. So we've had a new roof. They're working on the pointing. And hopefully, from having one of the worst houses in the road, it's hopefully going to be one of the better ones when it's all finished.
Each flat had to contribute about £7,500 to top up the shortfall in the sinking fund that's used for the exterior maintenance. As the couple own 3 flats, that's a whopping £22,500 towards the outside repair work. Back inside, the couple started off doing a lot of the decorating themselves, getting stuck into removing the wood chip paper and nicotine-stained walls.
I think the worst thing from my point of view was when we realised that we got to plaster the whole flat.
Oh, yes.
Because we really had hoped to get away without paying for having the whole flat plastered. Yeah. And every time we started doing another bit, we realised that there was more and more plastering that needed doing.
I'm just wondering if, in the end, that ambitious £10,000 budget was rather over-optimistic, as I'd feared.
We've definitely gone over. I think we're probably at around 13. But we probably will end up, when everything's added up, we probably will have spent a little bit more than that.
Based on their current spend of £13,000 plus the 60 grand they paid at auction, and not forgetting the £7,500 for the exterior work, that brings their total outlay here to £80,000 and £500. Time to hear what 2 local estate agents think of the refurbished flat.
I think if this were to be let, the rental value of it now would be about £550 per calendar month.
This flat on the rental market would command a rent of about £500 per calendar month.
That rental value sounds about right, I think, from what we know of the area, and rental in this area. So, yes, pretty pleased with that.
Bearing in mind their £80,500 investment here, how much could it sell on for now?
I think if you was going to sell the flat, you would think about marketing it for about 95, settle for anything between £85,000 and £95,000.
If this were to be sold now, I think I would put it in the market at somewhere in the region of £95,000 to £100,000.
That range of valuations from £85,000 to £100,000 would produce a profit of between £4,500 and £19,500.
Oh, I'm actually pretty pleased with those agents' valuations. We were slightly worried that we had actually spent more than we should have done, but on that basis, that sounds perfectly reasonable, doesn't it?
Yes.
They always plan to keep this for their holiday use, but having heard those valuations, are they tempted to let or even sell?
No, we're definitely using it as holiday ourselves. That's we put all this effort in. We want to get the benefit of it ourselves, I think.
Face pressed up against the window on your morning commute? Maybe you've outgrown the job entirely. There is another way with Escape to the Country, next on Home.
You're welcome.